And it is time right now for our manager's report, brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking, it's better. And joining us from Denver, Colorado, side of Coors Field, Padres manager Mike Shildt is with us. Mike, it is good to have you on. Congratulations on, again, another great week. The team is playing great. How's everything going?
It's going well. How about yourselves?
We're pretty good. We're enjoying watching your team play. I mean, best ERA in baseball since the All-Star break, best batting average. You've been talking about marrying those two together since early in the season, and now we get to see what it's like. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it's a group effort, 1 through 26. Everybody contributing, everybody on point, everybody doing their part. So it's fun. It's a great group.
I got to get this one out of the way, Shilty, because we've got a listener. His name is Steve from Coronado, and his emails may have found his way to you at some point, but he is obsessed with the art of the bunt. And the San Diego Padres have done a really good job. I think all of your guys, to a man, when needed to and called upon to lay down a bunt, have really executed this year, and it's kind of been a big part of the game. But he has been wearing us out to ask you. Do you grade your players on their bunting abilities? Is there a grade, a color code,
like a system of
some sort to grade your players on bunting? That's all he wants to know. And I told him I will ask him.
This has been going on for months.
This has been going on for months, by the way.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's been, we talk about being a holistic offensive machine, and a big part of that, or a part of that, is being able to do what the game calls for, as Toddy says, which I love. And bunting's part of that,
Sure.
And you be able to see the game, play the game. Mike McCoy, who's one of our hitting coaches, has also has been, has taken the responsibility, done a nice job with working with the bunters every day. We don't have any really color codes. We just we just work on it.
Yeah,
guys spend the time on it, some more than others, the part of their game, but we expect everybody to be able to execute in whatever the situation calls for, and it calls for a bunt, and it's there for him, whether it's a hit or sacrifice or safety squeeze.
And I think that will satisfy him.
I hope so.
I think he just wanted to know that there was a dedicated coach.
I've been telling him.
We've been telling him.
Yeah. They lead the baseball in bunting. It's great.
It is. It's been great, and the offense is obviously clicking. Shilty, I wanted to ask you this, just kind of a general question. With everything going on, the winning streak and winning a bunch of games in a row, and do you ever find yourself? Do you give yourself a moment to kind of stop and take it all in? And I think one of the things that stands out to me is like when Robert Suarez walks in to close out a game and the lights go out, the music comes on. I realize there's still, there's the potential of another half inning if something goes bad, and you got to be planning for that. But do you give yourself a moment as the manager to go, "Whoo, this is pretty exciting"?
You appreciate and enjoy the triumph the club has. You celebrate with them. You know how much hard work, dedication, effort goes into players to perform, and so you get, you step back and just appreciate a nice play or a big hit, or a guy making good pitches, or stepping up in a high leverage situation. So you do appreciate that, but for the most part, you kind of got to stay on point, yourself, because you got a responsibility too to be ready for any and everything. And but Suarez, it's cool what they do when he comes in, to close it down. But I'm just excited that we get the opportunity to bring Robert in to win a ball game.
Mike, I mentioned how tight the standings are right now, but as you look on the field, whether you guys are playing the Guardians or the Orioles or the Brewers or the Dodgers, your team's certainly right there with all of them, which means, in my mind, you guys are contenders going forward. Now, you've been a part of a championship organization before with the St. Louis Cardinals. Do you see some similarities between some of those top Cardinals teams that were there at the end that won a World Series and the team that you have right now?
Yeah, I do. It's something we continue to strive for, and that's just normalizing excellence of in competitions, relative to regardless rather of who we're playing, or what the circumstances are. Day game, night game, road, home, opponent, we're going to be aware of and respect our opponent, obviously, but, it's really about, what we do, how we do it, and how we do it together and how we execute. So, and there's just a consistent dedication that sounds easy, but it's a real challenge to bring it to that degree every day, regardless of environment, for the length of what is a long season. But it is a separator for guys individually and for teams collectively, and it's a trait that, winning clubs have.
You're talking to Padres manager Mike Shildt here on Ben and Woods this morning. You've talked a lot this season about the grit squad, and yeah, I mean, never more evident than in the last week. The blowout squad did show up, and that was a nice one. But the grit squad, made up of guys that sometimes don't get everyday opportunities. Shildt, like Tyler Wade, and Paulie and I were down there. We ran into the other day. Was watching him and his pregame work, and you talked about how crisp all of the guys are every single day, whether or not they're in the lineup, because they never know when they're going to be called on. And you really have gotten contributions from so many of those guys. When you think grit squad, who are a few of those guys that pop up in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. You just mentioned one of them for sure. It's a 1 through 26 man roster. They're all like that. The guys that, again, I respect the heck out of all of them, but for Wadey to not play as much as I'm sure he'd probably like, but accepts the role that he has, fits in nicely when he gets called upon in the roles that he's been allowed and given. Been fantastic. Solano, same deal. Look up, Brian Holling's done a nice job coming in and being able to pick up innings in different areas. Been really tremendous. Brian Reynolds came in the other day for a clean 8. So anyway, it's just a bunch of guys really looking to compete and stay ready for whatever the situation calls for.
And I get the sense when you say grit squad that you also mean, Manny and Xander
Sure.
and, the guys who have been there
Of
and
course.
done that
Yeah,
before. Yeah,
100%.
it's not just the
Yeah,
guys that are coming
it's
off
a
the bench
team.
either.
The
Yeah, it's
team.
the whole team. And
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a team. It's grittiness that, I mean, actually, it can be applied as much to those guys as anybody because, grit means, it's got probably a lot of different connotations for people, but, for me, it's about, finding a way regardless of circumstances. And to my point earlier about guys that, play every day and are getting after it and competing regardless of circumstances, up, down, on road, like I said. That's a lot of grittiness with that, and that's a heck of a trait.
Talking to Mike Shildt here on Ben and Woods this morning, and listen, you guys have had some pretty gnarly stretches this year as far as games in a row. 18 games in 18 days. Skip, is there what goes into the, I guess, planning of 18 and 18, or is there a reason to sit and try to plot it out when baseball's so unpredictable, right? I mean, how much planning can go into 18 games in 18 days?
I mean, there's a combination. I mean, listen, we crystal balls. We do take it one step at a time, but there's some planning that obviously goes into rotation. But who knows when the game starts how things are going to go? There's always going to be twists and turns here or there. There's planning on how we're going to be efficient with our pregame work and how we're going to make sure we're ready to play and have the appropriate mental and physical energy for the games themselves. And then there's the decision about when to give a guy a blow and make sure that we see the narrow focus and then also look at the bigger picture of what we're looking at from a season. So there's always a little bit of a marriage of both.
you talked also this week about your Warriors, and I think that was in the context of when Tyler Wade took it in the face, sliding in at home plate, make sure he scored that run and being ready to go the next day. And Warriors has, like grit, its own connotations. I think to a lot of people it means playing through pain and injuries and working and coming back. And one of those guys that I think is definitely a Warrior is Joe Musgrove. You got him back this week. Obviously, just having any starting pitcher back is huge, and the innings and the outs that he gets. But in particular with Joe, what does him coming back do you feel do for your team to have him in your rotation?
Yeah, we got a clubhouse full of the Warriors, the guys that just show up, play hard. I mean, you mentioned Wade after taking a shot with the nose on the big time base running play, pro far. I mean, just name them. Playing banged up a little bit. But yeah, Joe coming back, he's like the ultimate warrior, man. He's obviously a big physical guy, but he's got the intensity and the heart, to match the presence and make the presence even stronger. He's an impressive guy, and it's good to have him back. He's definitely a warrior for us.
Well, you guys need to keep doing what you're doing. It's been so much fun to watch. This the one other guy I'm imagining that would be fun to kind of pencil in the lineup at some point would be Fernando Tatis Jr. I know the fan base misses him. We miss watching him play. I know you do as well. How's he doing? Is there any update on his status?
Yeah, looking forward to him to come back. Definitely a big part of what we've done this year, and we're going to do moving forward. And excited to have him back. I don't have any real specific deadline or timeline for you with Toddy. He's good news is he's feeling good, starting to increase some baseball activity. But beyond that, there's no like, hey, this is happening. This particular day, and he's about to go out and get some at bats or anything like that. That's not on the table quite yet. But we're getting closer.
Right, getting closer.
I like that.
And there's still a month and a half left in the regular season, and hopefully more games after that. Obviously, you guys are in good position, and we're pulling for you. Good luck this weekend. I know Colorado's always, long before you got here, Mike, Colorado's always been a tough place for a lot of teams, but definitely one that the Padres hopefully can get over this weekend, get another series win, and keep moving forward. Good luck.
All right, appreciate it, guys. You have a nice day.
Thanks,
All right,
Shildt.
thank you. Mike Shildt, manager of the San Diego Padres. Our manager's report brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking. It is better.